Hello again and welcome back to the Homestead and to part 2 on my Stanley wood stove. Now in the last video we looked at various parts of the wood stove and what they all do. We looked at recommended firewoods for northern and southern hemispheres, how I lay and light a fire in the stove, and how to bank it for overnight burning. In this video we're picking up from where we left off. In this video we're going to tackle the cleaning. Now ideally you should try and do this weekly or at the very least fortnightly. Having said that, due to a combination of laziness and actually wanting to have something of substance to show you in this video, I've left it for about 4 or 5 weeks. Also, the last few weeks the wood I've been burning hasn't been quite dry enough, but it's all I have left at this stage. So not only have I left it a while between cleans, I've been burning damp wood. So this will be particularly disgusting, but great for the purposes of this demonstration. Now to be transparent, I should mention that since I've waited so long between cleanings, I've noticed a significant drop in its ability to reach the right temperature and the speed that it takes to reach that temperature. Now let's get started. Let's look at the hot plate. You'll see here on the left is this rectangular lid which is above the firebox. Then you will also see on the top this large round disc and 2 smaller discs. Many people think these are hot plates like what you'd have on an electric or a gas cooker, but this is a wood stove, so when it's going, the entire thing is hot in varying degrees. These are not hot plates, these are lids that can be removed for cleaning. First we need to open the lid on the hot plate using this tool. Then using a stiff bristle brush, we're just going to sweep the bottom of the firebox and all the ash will go into the ash pan below, down into here. Sometimes you'll see in the bottom of the firebox there's some bigger charred bits that didn't get to quite burn. Depending on the size of them, you can remove them or you can leave them in there and they'll burn up the next time you light the stove, but that really is up to you. Now, if you're burning damp or resinous woods, like I have been recently, it may leave a black residue, a bit like what you can see here on the back wall of the firebox. And that's a sign that you need to keep a close eye on your chimney. We will be getting up on the roof in probably about a month to give the chimney a full clean. Now, as I said earlier, these 3 things here, they aren't hot plates. They're really just there for cleaning. And to open them, we use this tool here, which presumably came with the oven when it was installed years ago, and it's a Stanley tool number 958. So let's use this and lift the lids and have a look and see what's going on underneath. Now you can see there's a bit of stuff on this. Gosh, just look at that. There's a good layer of creosote and soot built up on that. And of course, I'll have to clean the bottom of these lids as well. And hopefully this will demonstrate to you how not cleaning regularly or not burning dry wood impacts the efficiency of your wood stove. All this stuff that I'm scraping off here, it's insulating the hob, the hot plate, from the heat. So if you're trying to boil a kettle or cook food, clearly it's going to take longer. Now the largest lid can be a little difficult to lift due to the direct damper which is beneath it. So generally I just go in from the side and push it up with my hand from underneath. This is the direct damper. If you saw my previous video on the wood stove, you may remember that we used a tool to operate it. It controls how the heat moves around the stove. At the time the stove was on, I think, so I couldn't lift the lid to show you the mechanism. So you can see here that there is a thick layer of ash and soot around the oven, which will also be insulating it from the heat source. So now we'll get this damper out. It's got a bit of crud on it, and we'll give that a clean before putting it back. Now we have the bonnet door at the base of the flue. You can see that's also got a bit of muck on it. There's some creosote, and scrape that off, give it a clean. It all comes off relatively easily, which is a good thing. Now you can see in here there's some soot and stuff which has fallen down from the floor, and I've found over the years, I've tried using scrapers and various things, but it's all quite loose, so it's just as easy just to get your hand in there. Now I'm using the wire brush and getting all the creosote buildup, which is above the oven but on the underneath side of the hot plate. If you look here, there's meant to be a gap which goes the whole way across the right hand side of the oven, and it goes right down to the bottom. That is the channel that the heat and flame takes when the oven is circulating, and you can see how everything is caked in soot, ash and creosote. That's why the oven is struggling to function at its best. If it gets too clogged up, well, try as it might, it will not be able to come up to temperature, as the heat just can't circulate properly. Now I'm going to be using this Stanley scraper that came with the range to push all the creosote and the rubbish down that channel on the right hand side there. And you're probably wondering, how do you get it out from there so it doesn't just keep building up? Well, inside the oven there's another little door. Down here. And all of the residue that falls down the side and all the residue from beneath the oven collects there so you can clean it out. We use the scraper again, basically like a rake, and you just have to keep going until you get it all out. Sometimes that can take a while. Quite a while. Now it's taken me nearly an hour to clean the entire oven, but of course that's my own fault for leaving it 4 to 5 weeks, and if you do it weekly it takes sort of between 5 and 10 minutes, which is okay, I can handle that. When it's clean, you're going to have more responsiveness from your oven and more consistent cooking. Clearly, if it can get hotter, it's going to do a better job of warming your home and your hot water. And I mean, who wants a lukewarm shower? I know I don't. And now, the exciting bit. We're almost ready to put it back together. First, we put the damper back in. try and line up the lid with that little notch there because it makes it so much easier to get the lid back on. Pop on the two smaller lids. Might give the firebox just another bit of a brush out. Close that, put the little door back, shut the big door, put that back on, and look at all the stuff we got out of it. That's all the stuff that came from the side and the underneath of the oven, all the stuff we scraped. And there's all the ash. It's a lot. Use the scraper to get out any last bits of ash. And just like magic, we're done. If you've managed to get to the end of this video, I am so grateful to you. For someone like me that doesn't get along at all well with technology, this video has been an editing nightmare. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting the subscribe button. Check out my previous video on the wood stove if you haven't seen it already. I hope you found it helpful. Any questions or comments, pop them in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them. And I'll catch you on the next video. Bye!